Hello, and welcome to another episode of Time with Tom. My name is Tom Ruesink. I'm with Cornerstone Information Systems. I'm the Vice President of Product and Marketing. And we do these Time with Tom series to just talk with industry thought leaders about different topics in the travel and meetings industry. And today I'm very excited to be joined by a dear friend in the industry, Kimberly Meyer, who is the co-founder of a company called MeetingsStrategy, formerly also co-founder of a company called Meetings Analytics. So welcome, Kimberly. Appreciate you joining us.
Thank you so much, Tom. And as you say, Meetings Analytics and MeetingsStrategy together so quickly, I realized, the second time I should have gotten a little more creative.
Oh, they're both doing very well. So just tell us a little bit about yourself and your background in the meeting space.
Sure. So maybe one of the few who my entire career has really been in the meetings world. 20 years ago, there were some of us who were into analytics for travel, but really then started down the meetings path. And in those days, analytics and, there wasn't even a term called data scientist. We were just geeks, right? We were just sort of geeks that some, kind of progressive travel managers were interested in looking at meetings with a lens more like travel. And so, fast forward a bit, in 2008, we founded a company called Meetings Analytics. We did a lot of data work in the industry for about 10 years and sold that company. And now with MeetingsStrategy, doing some of that type of work on a broader scale, and also other work with meetings programs.
When you say we were just geeks, I'm like guilty. I love actually finding travel data and meetings data absolutely fascinating. So what do you see as kind of the biggest issue that companies and vendors are facing today in kind of the meetings arena, especially with all that's going on?
Yeah, so right now it is how to return, right? And it's in what countries and with what level of comfort can we return? And some of the employees, some of the customers are raring to go and meet in person and are doing that. And others, don't want to do that for months or perhaps even years. And companies are trying to figure out how to balance that and also how to help all of those, what we call meeting stakeholders, the people who want to run meetings, certainly also the ones who want to attend, try to figure out, should this meeting be in person at all? Should it be hybrid? Should it be virtual? What is going to benefit the company and all these individuals involved? And so those questions, and once it's decided to be in person, the safety around it, those are the big ones right now.
So what are the best practices, and how are companies like using technology to help make those determinations?
Yeah, I don't know if there's any best practices yet. I think, pre-COVID, everyone went with their gut about how should we hold this meeting, and could it be even a quick conference call, or is it actually a major production? And in today's world, I think the companies that are progressive in this area are really crafting some kind of decision tree. Some vendors are coming out with them too that really helps you decide, based on these goals, what format should this meeting be in and what should you think about? And again, like good practice, once that stakeholder makes that decision and understands all the nuances around the format they've chosen, then pops up the right vendors that the company approves or are preferred to really support that type of meeting. Because certainly what we know is the same vendors in the virtual world may not work quite as well in the hybrid world or in any of the three types of meetings.
Oh, interesting. So crystal ball, Kimberly, in 2 years, let's say, how do you think it'll all shake out?
Well, clearly my crystal ball has a big crack because I sure, among much of the world, didn't see COVID coming as it came. But, my gut is just from what we hear and see in terms of larger companies, it's just that slow and steady return. And what is happening in some countries with better vaccination programs or more access to vaccinations and better healthcare systems, that will be a very different picture for meetings than countries for whom COVID is lasting longer and is having a much bigger impact.
Now, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you during our time about meetings data, being a data geek myself. So what is kind of the current state of meetings data, and are you still involved in that whole film?
Yeah, so I guess back to the crystal ball on this. I believe, and I think a lot of people realized during COVID that meetings and human contact will never go away. We so want to be with other people. I'm dying to go to an industry conference and just have a glass of wine with you. And we, group of us in Meeting Strategy, used the COVID lull, if you will, for a bit to build some software that could take care of some of the problems that we had before with meetings data. So we've built some software, some robots. We call her the data angel, and we're correcting data now, meetings data on screen in front of Cvent. We can do it with other technology tools, but we're correcting data right away as planners enter data, as attendees enter data, to make sure that it's quick and simple and easy, and that good data is really available. We're doing some other fun things too, custom reports in 3 seconds, and just lots more fun stuff with meetings data, but to give the quality and value that we know companies are looking for.
So I can't let you get away without asking one fun question. It's kind of one of the rules of Time with Tom, is I get to ask you one fun question. So now if your friends found out that you've been arrested for something, what would they think it's for?
Tom, it should always worry me when you say just one fun question. So the funny thing is, I actually had this conversation with my kids maybe a month ago, and almost along the same lines, in that my kids are old enough now that we believe in, very much believe in, and they're old enough to peacefully join a protest, to peacefully stand up for what they believe in. I think I would say, my friends would immediately say, you went and stood up with your kids for something you believe in. And out of the 100,000 people in attendance, you're the one who got arrested. I'm afraid that would be me.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kimberly. It's always great catching up with you, and best of luck with the new company Meeting Strategy. And if people want to get a hold of you at all, what's the best way to reach you?
KMeyer@MeetingsStrategy.com or MeetingsStrategy.com or thedataangel.com.
Awesome. A lot of different .coms.
Tom, all right. As a last remark, here's to all of us in the meetings and travel world. Here's to human contact and coming back together. Can't wait for it to happen on a grander scale.
Well said. Well said. Well, thank you, Kimberly. I appreciate you joining us. Take care.